All right. Sorry about the delay there, everybody. Having a little bit of technical issues there, trying to get the live streaming the way it's supposed to. So, apologies for that. But hey, modern technology, it's great when it works. Uh, but what you're gonna do. So anyway, here we are. Anyway, so for those who don't know, welcome to the Tuesday night draw stream with Gollum Wolf, otherwise known as me, otherwise known as Tim. And today we are going to be drawing the great Nosferatu inspired, which came out. We're going to do the early 1922 version, I believe is when it came out, and the silent film era. I thought with it being, Halloween season, it might be fun to get a couple little, do some monsters and stuff. And what you're seeing here on the screen is a test I did earlier today of a technique I'm going to try with this drawing, using what's called an ink wash, where you dilute the ink with water and to the point, and use enough water to the point where it goes. There you are. We were. Thanks, Jake. Thanks. Yeah, it took me a bit, but we eventually got it. So thanks for thanks for hanging in there. The technology, shockingly, was being uncooperative. So, but should be good now. Except that should have been shown up on the screen now. So I don't know what that was all about, but whatever. Cool. But anyway, yes. So what you're seeing here is something we're going to try tonight. This was my kind of practice run. We're going to be, it's like all this right here is called an ink wash. And again, we just dilute the ink with enough water to make it gray and kind of almost treat it like a watercolor type thing. And then, there's ink splatter and all kinds of stuff that we can do. That we might do, depending on how we feel about it. But I've seen a bunch of artists do this over the years, and lately I've kind of fallen obsessed with this technique. So this is my earlier attempt to practice and try it out, and I think it worked out okay. I did a couple more attempts. Don't pay attention to these. These were me trying to use colored inks. That's a whole other ball game that we're not going to worry about tonight. But anyway, enough of that jibble jabble. Let's get drawing. Nosferatu, otherwise known as Count Orlok. So how's everybody doing out there? Thanks for thinking about it. How you doing, Jake? How's everything in your end? Let's see. Got some reference over here. I want to see if I can figure out exactly how I want to do it, because he's really stiff posed in a lot of the images, and he's got that crazy face, so I definitely want to get that face in there. Let's see, we can do something like let's see, oops. Jax is sick. Oh no. Otherwise, okay. Well, that's too bad. Hope he gets feeling better soon. Let's see. Yeah, I guess it's that time of year, isn't it? Seasons changing and all that. Let's see. He's got that real long chin. He's kind of got those real beady eyes. So I'm also going to try to do most of this with traditional brush inking, which I have done before on stream, and I've done a lot of messing around with that today too, which has been fun. So we'll see how that goes. His forehead's kind of lumpy. He's got kind of a lumpy forehead. He's got these crazy big eyebrows. They're kind of like, they kind of... I think those eyes are a little too kindly looking. Let's see. Tell you what, actually, I think I want to move these. Let's try moving the face over here a bit. Get that on that third. Then we can get them kind of looking back at you like that. And that will allow us to get the big crazy ear. And then he's got that kind of creepy hunch in his body, and he's kind of thin and creepy looking. Like how the guy, when he showed up at his castle, didn't suspect something was wrong when he first met him. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just, you know, in hindsight, we're like, hey, look at that dude. No, I ain't trusting that guy. But, who knows, man? He needed he needed the money, and it's amazing how that makeup still holds up from 100 years ago. Yeah, I remember seeing it just as a clip from that original movie when I was a kid. It kind of forever creeped me out. Yeah, dude, the original it's so good. I mean, it's a classic for a reason. It's quite good. The new one, the Robert Eggers directed one, is also phenomenal in my opinion. It follows a lot of the. It's pretty close to the original in terms of like the story, actual stuff that happens in it. It does a good job of following all that, but it really enhances the creep factor. So I know Robert Eggers' style of directing is not for everybody, so I can understand some people not being a fan of it, but it's definitely unsettling for sure. But that's kind of the point. But yeah, if you get a chance to watch the original classic one, which I know it's all over online, even though it's a silent movie from that era, it's pretty darn good. Well, the funny story for those that aren't familiar with it, how this movie got made. Nosferatu was it was a German-made movie, and they wanted to do Dracula, but at the time, you know, because this is 1922, I think it was, the Bram Stoker's Dracula story was still copywritten. It wasn't in public domain yet, so they basically changed the names to Nosferatu and Count Orlok instead of Count Dracula, and made it set in Germany instead of London, and just changed some of the names around. So it's basically a blatant ripoff of Dracula, but they changed it just enough so that it wouldn't, in order to avoid copyright infringement. Although apparently they still did get sued by the American studio that owned it, that owned Dracula, and they ended up paying a fine, and the agreement was all copies of the film had to be destroyed forever or whatever, and a lot of them were, but thankfully there were a few prints of the movie that got missed, and so they're still around, and that's how we're able to see it to this day. But yeah, I don't know. I always thought that was kind of a funny story. Because I remember for me, for a long time, that was a real point of confusion. Like, is this supposed to be Dracula? Or is this, like, is Nosferatu his own thing? Like, how does that work? Yeah, he's got these big... He's got these tiny little beady eyes. Let's see, yeah, these eyes are too big. Yeah, I know you probably, obviously you can't see me, but I'm widening my eyes. I can't help but do it when I'm making the expression. I don't know if anybody else out there, that artists out there, like when you're trying to draw a facial expression, do you find yourself making that expression yourself? Let's see. What's up, Melissa? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Hope things are well with you. Now, a lot of the fun of this piece is going to be in inking stage. We're going to put a lot of heavy shadows, and I'm going to play around with the ink washes like I was showing earlier. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. And since the original was 100 years ago on old film from that time, does give me a little bit of leeway to kind of craggle up his face a little bit. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. We'll see if it still ends up that way. Let's see. I'm looking at reference here. I'm trying not to just do a portrait, but since I got that reference, I guess I'm kind of just doing that anyway. He's got kind of the real jaggedy, sharp front teeth, but they're not like perfectly symmetrical. And his eyes are really, really small. He's like, ah. Yeah, there we go. We're going for creepiness. I'm resisting the urge. I'm resisting the temptation to give him the big Vlad the Impaler mustache that he had in the new version. Because frankly, I thought that looked kind of cool. But we're sticking with the original silent film Max Schreck version. Yeah, I read somewhere online that, like, apparently when he was on set in the makeup, pretty much everybody thought he looked really silly. Like, a lot of the actors and stuff had a hard time taking it seriously, because they're just like, look at the dude, he looks so goofy. But on the cameras back in those days, it looked really creepy, and so it worked on camera, but yeah, apparently in person it just looked really goofy. I love those kinds of stories. Let's see. We're gonna just kind of do this. I think I might raise these eyebrows a little. Let's see. Adam, how's it going, man? Doing good? Doing good. We're drawing some Nosferatu. Doing good. I don't know if anyone... yeah, no, if you weren't here earlier, I think Jake might have been the only one here, as far as I'm aware, that got to see my technical struggles trying to get the stream live. But now that we got that going, all is good. I was showing her some of the techniques we're going to try. We're going to try a little different technique tonight than you're used to seeing me do. This is a practice thing I did earlier today. We're going to try what's called ink washes, where you take the black ink and you dilute it with water, and it gives it that gray effect. And then you can also get a toothbrush and do some splatters and get some cool stuff. So we're going to try to experiment with that tonight, especially since the movie that we're basing this off of was, a black and white silent film. That gives me a little bit of leeway. But one thing I do want to do with this character is I really want to wrinkle him up, and because I'm looking at the makeup, the pictures of the screenshots of the film right now. He's got some kind of like weird lumps in his head, and I don't know. He definitely doesn't look like he's all there. So I really kind of want to play that up. There we go. Max Shrek was kind of a creepy looking dude anyway, I'm assuming. I say that, I don't really know. For all I know, he was probably a very handsome gentleman. How are things with you, Adam? Yeah, I do have a confession to make, and I do kind of blame Adam for this. I've kind of got addicted to Fortnite. Never thought that would happen, but I kind of got hooked on it. Especially because this season they have like old school Mighty Morphin Power Rangers stuff, and I'm like, oh my god. So now I have I can play as the Megazord and the Dragon Zord. And then I saw, as I level up, I can unlock the Green Ranger and the White Ranger with Saba and all the Zords and stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to do this. And so it's a lot of those like, yeah, it's a lot of those like, oh man, okay, just one more game. And so, and then I discovered the rocket racing, and I've been having a lot of fun with that too. I'm ranked in the Silver 2 ranking, I think, right now. I do like that racing game because it's that kind of, it's that very arcadey style of racing that I tend to like in video games. Because a lot of those racing games nowadays, they take full advantage of like real life physics. And so like you just hit the brake at just the wrong time and your car just goes spinning uncontrollably. And I have to do that. Let's see. Love playing the Guitar Hero mode. I don't know if I've tried that. I'll have to check that out. Guitar Hero mode. Huh. You have intrigued me, sir. But yes, we do need to team up sometime and yeah, I'm supposed to, there's like that current big bad that I'm supposed to kill, like the Mother of Thorns or whatever. I'm trying to find her for one. I stumbled across her accidentally and then just got annihilated. So. Okay, anyway, well. We're going to do most of this. Most of his suit's going to be pretty much going to be solid black, so I'm not going to put a whole lot of detail in here, but I do want to get a good it's called Festival Main Stage. It's literally Guitar Hero in 4. Okay. You've convinced me, sir. I will definitely be checking that out. Yeah, I made this ear huge. I don't hate it though, but let's just out of curiosity. Yeah, I think that looks a little more Nosferatu and less goblin. Let's see. Yeah, I was talking about earlier the Robert Eggers directed Nosferatu movie, the one that just came out recently. I don't know if you've seen that one, Adam, but I'm a pretty big Robert Eggers fan, so naturally I'm gonna like it just because I like his style, and I thought he did a great job with it. I don't think it's his strongest movie he's done, but I thought it was a lot of fun for what it was. Apparently he's doing a werewolf movie, which that I am down for. Sign me up, man. Apparently he's like going to he is going to make like a Nordic historical thing. It's quite spooky. If you're not if you're not a horror guy, this movie might not be for you. It's not particularly gory. I mean, there's a couple moments that are, but it definitely has that creep factor where you're just like, oh, it's just so unsettling a lot of the times. But I loved it. But yeah, again, it's not for everybody. Kind of depends on how you feel about those types of movies. But yeah, I got to see that in the theater, and I'm so glad I did, because the lighting in that movie is just really gutsy. There's some scenes that are just like you can barely see anything except for just a couple little things that it makes you almost makes you jump. You're like second guessing, like, wait, what was that? What was that? Wait, was that a thing? Was that a thing? Was that a thing? And then it just gets going. You're just like, oh my god. Let's see. I'm trying to looking at my reference here. I'm trying to, because he's got that big hook nose. Yeah, and he's got this big brow here. There we go. I'm not sure how I feel about this music station here. Let's see. I don't know. I'm still not sure about the music thing. If she gets way too spooked, hello. Yeah, if she gets spooked easily, this is definitely not a movie for her. I've kind of turned into a fan of Robert Eggers movies. Not the Gay Lighthouse one, but I really love The Witch that he did, and The Northman's probably my personal favorite of his. I'm a bit biased because I love Vikings, and yeah, The Northman. It's just so it's so good. Oh, sorry, folks. Yeah, it's quite good. It's not. I don't know if you can really call The Northman a horror movie so much as a. Oh, what happened? Am I still? Huh. I don't know what happened. Something crashed. Am I still online? Hello? don't know. YouTube's being weird today, I guess. Let's see. Says I'm still online, so we're just gonna hope for the best, I guess. Still live. Perfect. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, it was weird. All of a sudden, like my like the chat stream disappeared, the music stopped, and I was like, "What is going on?" And my chat box isn't even showing up on the screen, and it's just like it's pandemonium, man. I had to restart my getting the stream live was took an act of God in Congress this morning. So like, what the heck? Oh yeah, there we go. Put that on there. Okay. Hey, it's all right. We're doing it live. Doing it live. I'm gonna make most of this side of his face. I think I'm gonna make most of that shadow except for the eye. I think most of this is gonna be shadow. This is definitely gonna be a deep shadow. Gonna be shadow. Let's see. And then we can kind of let this be more lit. And this side can be more in shadow. Because we got that going, we can kind of... All right, so cool. So, given that it's the Halloween season and all that, I know everyone has. I know a lot of people have their kind of go-to, movies to watch during the Halloween season. So, what are some of you guys' favorites, if you have any? Let's see. Okay. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and you get the ink out. We're going to do this old school. Gonna do this old school with real ink and brush and all that good stuff. Lost Boy. Oh yeah, those are fun, dude. The Burbs is great. I saw that movie for the first time in years, like a while ago. I saw it as a kid and hadn't seen it again for years, and then saw it again recently, like maybe a year or two ago. Yeah, that movie's genius. All right, let's see. Been doing this most of the day, so it should work out just fine. The beauty of this is since this guy's got such kind of a craggly face, I can get a little bit gnarly with it, which I intend to. Let's see. Yeah, now inking with a brush like this is considered pretty old school, but I gotta tell you, man, I go through my periods where I love it, and then I go through periods where I hate it. I'm in a love it period right now. But yeah, Lost Boys is a classic. People Under Stairs, I don't know if I've seen that one, to be honest with you. I'm trying to remember that one. I'm trying to remember if I've seen that one or not. Trying to think of some of the good ones. I mean, I love a lot of those old, like, cheesy slasher movies. Just kind of their... you know, like the original Friday the 13th, Halloween. They're fun in their own way. I mean, the original Night of the Living Dead, well, the whole Night of the Living Dead trilogy is great. BRB, you gotta find a snack. Hey, I get it, man. Priorities. It's all good. Yeah, I don't want these teeth to be too perfect, because he's meant to be kind of like... So right now I'm just establishing my black and white values. And then I will come in with the diluted ink, which I have in a separate container that I've kind of pre-mixed, and where I've diluted the ink quite a bit. And that should allow me to get those kind of gray tone ink washes that I think will be pretty cool on this. Yeah, I kind of want his face to be kind of craggly and just kind of like, just kind of gross. I'll just give him the... Yeah, the other nice thing about using the brushes. Charleston Chew required. Alright. Yeah, I know, I felt weird because I remember the other day you were online calling someone out because they never heard of Charleston Chew, and I was sitting there kind of tucking my head into my chin under my shirt because I'm like, you know, I don't know if I've ever had a Charleston Chew. Sacrilege, I know, but you sold me on them. I'll definitely have to try one sometime. No, but my latest kind of candy... I'm not a really big sweets guy, but like my one big kind of candy weakness, at least lately, is those cookies and cream Hershey's bars. I'll tell you, man, those are just gorgeous. They're delicious to the nth degree. Yeah, the fam's on the stream. All right. You convinced me. I'll have to try them out. And then I'll finally get one. They better be amazing the way you've been selling these, because if they're not, man, oh man. But no, that'll be fun. Yeah, the cookies and cream, Hershey's, and of course, I've always been a big Kit Kat guy, and I also love Reese's. Chocolate and peanut butter to me is just one of those magical combinations. I just want to go all Bob Ross. God was having a great day when he made peanut butter and chocolate. You like nougat? They are amazing. Okay, I do like nougat, so Sounds good. So, chances are high. Alrighty. Yeah, I kind of want to get these like real nasty like little wrinkles going on his face. Because there was a lot of limitations in the, camera technology in 1922, so they couldn't, they had to really light him brightly just to get him to read. So, yeah, there's any kind of details or anything like that in the makeup would have gotten lost. So they were just like, look, we're just not even going to worry about that. They didn't really do this movie on a super high budget, even for that day and age. It was pretty low budget, trying to avoid copyright claims from the Bram Stoker estate. Still didn't even, and they still got sued because everyone's like, look, guys, come on, it's clearly you're trying to just do Dracula, but with different names, and you said it in Germany. Like, nobody's fooled. Let's see. How's that music, by the way? Is that too loud, too quiet? Should I turn it off? I'm still not 100% sure on how I feel about doing the music stuff. I think I'm just going to let this, honestly, I think I'm just going to let that be a lost edge. I think that's going to be fun. Yeah. Good volume. Okay, good. Good. Bear with me here. Just had to fill up my ink reservoir a little bit. Get the ink finger. Gotta love it. Just accept the fact that you're going to get ink on your fingers. And that's half the fun. And it's copyright free. Yeah, this is from that pretzel or whatever it's called through Streamlabs. I was trying to find a more like kind of spooky station, because Halloween and all that, but I couldn't find anything that really worked. So yeah, I'm gonna have to come up with some white out anyway on that, fix that. That's fine. But besides, found this, thought, that's good enough. It's not really spooky, but hopefully it's not infuriating. Yeah, pretty much all this is going to be black. And then what I'm going to do here is once I get him more or less done, then I'm going to come in with splatter and we're going to do some cool stuff in the background. I think will look pretty sweet. Copyright free. Yeah, because my natural instinct to go to is to put on like some really like hard rock or metal or something like that, and I'm like, I don't know if people necessarily want to listen to that straight for 2 hours. So I know a lot of people get really picky about music taste. Everyone has different music tastes, so I figured as long as it's not smooth jazz, I'm good. As long as it's not techno, or, you know, that's not really techno, but, you know, that teeny bopper pop. I thought, chill EDM music. How can you go wrong with that? Yeah, there we go. Honestly, we might be able to. Here's a little happy accident because we got this little shape coming in right here. I can kind of work with that. Maybe kind of leave that open. See how that works. Ooh. Got a little drip by there. Ink gets everywhere. Yeah, normally I'd be wiping the brush down a little bit before I start applying it to the paper, so you don't, it's not so full of water, but since I'm trying to cover a large area, I kind of want to leave as much on there in the brush. Yeah, no worries, man. Yeah, this is way faster than using a marker. In hindsight, I probably could use a much larger brush, but I don't really have another big brush that I want to devote to inking. Most of my big brushes I kind of use for watercolor, and I don't really want to... Yeah, it's generally not a good idea to make them dual purpose, I have learned. Once you make it an ink brush, it should just stay an ink brush. Hey, Creative Faye, how's it going? Welcome in, welcome in. Hope all is good with you. How you been? Yeah, as you can see, we're doing a little Nosferatu action. Have a little fun. I'm going to give that a chance to dry here. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying a little something different. Because I'm kind of trying to do the, you know, a version of the silent film one, but obviously with the technology of the camera at the time, they weren't able to get a whole lot of detail on the face, so I'm kind of having a little fun getting a little gnarly with it. I want to get a little bit of gnarlness. Oop. Fair to Midland, fair enough. Kind of doing a Jim Lee thing here. I learned where you pick up some ink and use the paper towel to smear it on here. Then I'm going to try doing some ink washes. Yeah, I stumbled upon, what's his name? Matteo Scalera, I think is his name. And on this podcast called Ink Pulp, which I'd never heard of before. I just recently discovered it, and it's pretty cool. But yeah, they had him on there, and he was talking about his art supplies. And I mean, I'd seen people do ink washes before, but I've never thought to try it myself. And so I thought, what the heck? Let's go ahead and give it a shot. And I know you probably weren't here earlier when I showed that, but this was kind of my earlier. This is kind of like my earlier attempt at it with some of the splatter and the ink with the ink wash and all that. So it's pretty cool. New comic Saturday, Mike Mignola's Serpent in the Garden. Oh, okay. Is that like a more recent comic that he's doing, or is that one of his older ones? And I admit I haven't really followed much of his work outside of the Hellboy. But yeah, that sounds cool. I was able to get the first. Seen that show? Yeah. Okay. Oh, hey, awesome. We got a Twitch bot. Woo. Let me get rid of that here real quick. Bye, TwitchBot. We're going to say goodbye to you. Yay. But yeah, I wasn't familiar with that show before, so that was kind of a cool thing. And he was popping up on my, Matteo was popping up on my Instagram feed, and I was seeing some of the cool stuff he was doing with ink washes, and I've always loved that gray tone. But and I'm okay with Copic markers, and I like them all right, the alcohol markers. But I don't know, there's just something about them that just I don't know, I wasn't the biggest fan of, and so then it just kind of hit me. I was like, well, why not just try ink washes? And so here we are. So I got a separate ink well with my ink in it that I already mixed with water quite a bit. So it's kind of almost more of a gray. So I can kind of treat it like watercolor. And then what's cool is I can come in with whatever I accidentally go over, I can fix with whiteout, so it's not really that big a deal. Spin-off from Hellboy follows the pig guy and the Ed Gray. Oh, okay, that's cool. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I was able to get the first couple issues of Ghost Pepper. I was able to get the physical issues of that recently, which that's a fun book. Ludo Lullaby style is really fun. As a guy who's a big Joe Mad fan, the fact that he did a lot of work for Joe Mad, and you can definitely see the stylistic influence. So I'm already interested in it just because of that. But yeah, it's quite good. Let's see. Probably should let this dry. But yeah, no, it was fun getting for those that didn't see it on Creative Face channel, what was it? Friday, right? I think it was. Yeah, we got on and did a launch stream for the um, New Cerebus in Hell and um, some other stuff. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, doing a launch for that for some of the Dave Sim stuff. Still haven't read the third one yet. It's fun. I'm really curious to see where it goes. Yeah, it's kind of wacky, but in my opinion, in the best ways. I gotta double check. I think the next issue doesn't come out till November. So, you also got a book on comic lettering. What book? I would be interested to check that one out actually. Actually, let's go a little bit more in the background here, just to kind of get more of a Lost Edge in there. Yeah, Chad Lambert. Yeah, he was really nice. That was really fun getting to talk with him and pick his brain. Yeah, great guy. So yeah, I had a lot of fun for that. So Creative Faye was nice enough to invite me on the show and had a lot of fun with that. So Nick Picos, the guy who made Blambot. Okay. I'll have to check that out, yeah, because comic book lettering, I admit, is a bit of a mystery to me. I've seen some of Eric Weathers' videos, which were really good, but there's still some of that stuff that's, I admit, is there's still a lot to it that I need to learn, I know. He's comic coloring out. Want to check out the Diorc? Yeah, the dork. Yeah. All right, let's see how this goes. This was working earlier when I tested it out, so we'll see. Using some white out here. Just for some fun highlights. I kind of want to get that head back. And I kind of want to get that eye back open a little more. There we go. There we go. Probably not going to go too crazy with the lights here, but I kind of want a couple little highlights here and there. Just a couple little happy little highlights. Happy little highlights here and there. See you next stream whenever that is. Sounds good. Good night, Creative Faith. Thanks for stopping by. Alright, well, looks like we're going to have to go fix that lip. Oh well. No big deal. Let's see how we're doing on time. Oh, we still got a whole another hour. Okay, cool beans. Cool beans. We're looking pretty good, I dare say. Yeah, I gotta say, getting this whiteout to flow right. I was getting it to work earlier. I don't know what happened. There. Trying to keep this somewhere center frame. There we go. All right, now something really fun. We're gonna do some good old-fashioned splatter. So the way you do that is you take a really old, cheap toothbrush. You dip it in. In this case, we're doing the whiteout. First of all, you dip your toothbrush in some water. Make sure the bristles are soft. There we go. And then we try that again. We'll go ahead and dip this in like so. And just kind of brush it like that. You just kind of flick it on there. Yeah, you gotta be careful because yeah, I got a little too liquidy, so now it's gonna just drip everywhere. Whoops, days. That's all right. I can fix that. That's all right. I can fix that. Actually, I don't really hate that effect, kind of that ghosty effect. Let's try this again. Be a moonbeam. Exactly. I've learned from Bob Ross, we don't make mistakes, we have happy accidents. But the beauty of it is I can easily go back in with the black ink and fix all of it, which I will. Yeah, just that white that whiteout can get really finicky because finding that right balance of, yeah, if you don't use enough water, it's basically like a paste and just doesn't do anything. But if you use just a little too much, then it starts flowing too much like that. And then you get it spilling everywhere. So it's just kind of that, happy medium. But that's all right. We, like I said, we're not scared. We're not scared. And I'll probably do some splatter with the black ink too, just to kind of add a little extra something. But we'll do that in a minute. I'm gonna have to fix these spots here first. Let me get the black ink open. Yeah, just gotta accept that your hands are gonna get covered in everything. And that's half the fun. Gotta love that ink finger. Yeah, I don't want to kill all of those white specks because some of those look kind of cool, I think. But yeah, I really don't want to lose that silhouette of his that we had. So we'll fix that. Fill that in like so. And then, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do too much more with that as far as the brush goes. Outside of, I want to fix this. Because I do kind of want to, more or less of a defined silhouette for him. Cool. All right. Then, oh yeah, I wanted to fix that line under his lip there. I did want to fix that. Yeah, so you can kind of give and take, and no matter what you do, you can always fix it. That's kind of the beauty about doing this old school style. And now I'm going to use a... Well, let's go ahead and do a black... let's try a splatter with the black ink. In my earlier practices with this went a whole lot smoother. So just kind of dip it in. That, and then we just kind of... I don't know, it just kind of creates a little bit more interest. Yeah. Trying to think if I need any more. Let's see. Just a little bit of ink wash here. Yeah, it's also worth pointing out. Make sure if you're going to do the ink wash or use water on it, make sure your ink is waterproof. I can tell you from experience that is not a fun thing to figure out the hard way. I don't know. I think that's kind of cool looking. What do you guys think? Should I just blacken this whole corner out? I think I might just do that. Nah, I think I'll leave it like that. Okay. Well, I'm trying to think. I can't really think of much else I want to do in this guy outside of maybe try to show. Yeah, I don't even know if I like that. You can kind of use the camera as a test. I'm kind of digging this, honestly. Let's see. I don't know. There's something about this area that's not really sitting well with me here. So let's smooth this out a bit. There we go. It's funny, I don't usually have a hard time thinking of things to say and ask any of my friends or family, but I keep forgetting to say things on this whenever I stream on this show for some reason. Let's see. Let's just... All right, cool. All right, I think we're gonna call that good there. I never really had any intention of coloring this piece because, you know, the movie for one is black and white, and honestly, I'm kind of wanting to lean a little more into the black and white art a bit. That's super creepy. Good. That's what I'm going for. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning a little more into the black and white art for now, especially because I'm in the process of rewriting my comic book that I was working on, the Barbarian comic, and I don't know. I feel like I've been rushing a lot to try to get into color, and I'm not the greatest colorist, especially with traditional color, but there's just so many good black and white artists out there that when you like without the color, like the art almost looks better. And I feel like a lot of times I'm kind of using color as a crutch. So I'm kind of wanting to lean in a little more into the black and white, see if I can really make that pop. And I think this is a style I think might be able to let me do that, hopefully. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. That's the fun about art, is you're always learning, and ideally you're always learning, always growing, and try new things, and it's always fun. So might as well go ahead and sign this. $20.25. So here we are, Count Orlok, otherwise known as Nosferatu. It's Count Orlok the Nosferatu. Here he is. Here he is. So anyway, but yeah, so we got a couple more weeks, obviously, of October. So I'm trying to think of more, creepy characters to do. So Halloween, I mean, they don't have to be, but one idea I was kind of playing with was doing like Scarecrow from Batman, or I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So if you have any ideas or any characters you want to guarantee that I draw, you can support me at the Ko-fi.com/GollumWolf, which the link is on my screen. And it's in the description of this video if you're watching it after the fact. If you're on Twitch, it is somewhere. So probably in the chat because my bot has been throwing it up there. So, if you want to guarantee a character drawing, any donation of $5 or more, you can put in the message of the post what character you want, and that will guarantee it to be put in the queue. As of now, I am currently out, so I'm basically kind of picking out a whim here on what I want to do. So if there's any character in particular you want me to try, that's the way to do it. I also do sell original art and sell commissions on there as well, so if that's something you're interested in, please check that out. Otherwise, I will be here again next Tuesday, same time, same place. And thank you guys all so much for watching. My name is Tim. This is